Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you could hear me. Got 51 people in here. What's good? What's up, Seeker? Seeker66 in the house. Got Steven Tuck. Los Lopez. Toronto Raptors. How's it going, brother? Reboir. Wolfpack. Thanks, Austin. I appreciate you, brother. Senpai Dank. Yeah, my day's been beautiful. I've been working a lot. Now it's about relaxing with the homies. Hanging out with you guys for a little bit. How's it going, Jay? Steve Vu. Much love. Dow. What's up, brother? Much love to you, Fran. Mark Splice. It's gonna be a good night. How's it going, Justia? David in the house. Let me know if you guys like these visuals. They're very serene. I think this will be the new vibe moving forward. We're gonna pick some high quality visuals. Flying through the desert of South Utah. Got some solfeggio frequencies playing. I'm not sure if you guys could hear that, but just setting the mood. Much love, Dr. Savage. How you doing, brother? I think Dr. Savage, your name is Eric, right? I feel like I should call you by your name. Crypto Fitter. I'm doing amazing, bro. I'm doing amazing. Mud Flood. Yes, that's the reason why I picked this, because this is the Mud Flood. Jody, no, I don't think Ian sent me any open source music yet, but I would love to get some more. I think that did get me one time on a live stream. I was listening to like some rap song and then it got copyright claim, but it's all good because a live stream is like a butterfly. It's beautiful when it's happening live, and then once it's past you, it's just a memory and you have to move on. What's up, Matt? Vincent in the house. Okay, everyone's saying yes. I assume that means that they could hear me. Great. Great. Mind of Rye said, I keep missing the live streams. Made it to class on time today. That's awesome. Yeah, we're having fun. We're having fun here. Oh man, that XDC decode that I made, it's gonna be big. I'm kind of weary about releasing it. I think it's gonna be some controversial topics, but if anyone has an open pineal gland, they're gonna be able to make it through that decode. Ian made it. What's good, homie? Some crazy looking tree stumps, yeah. So the image that you guys are seeing right now is a forest that used to be a forest, and then it got turned into a clay city. Just kidding. It might be just a pure blown city. This might just be like over there you have like the first twin towers ever. There's the Manhattan skyline right there. And this shit got liquefied. Great. I'm glad that you guys could hear me. That's great. Got Denmark in the house. What's good? Oh, I got 100 people on this real quick. That's awesome. Joey, how you doing? Toronto Raptors says, hey man, you think they might shut the world down again? Yes, but I think they'll probably wait to do a shutdown by February 2022. But as for like some isolated countries, they could shut them down whenever they want. Like they could shut down Canada whenever they want. They could shut down Australia whenever they want, or New Zealand, because the people there are unarmed and it's easy for them to shut things down. And that, I mean, if you're listening right now from Australia and from Canada, I'm sure you're very, very aggravated by now with the shit that's going on, this bullshit. But at the end of the day, right, like, that's why you're coming and gravitating towards this kind of stuff, because you're trying to find a community of people that aren't brainwashed. You know, like we are all we have. That's it. Not financial advisor. We're going to be talking about whatever we need to talk about. We're going with the flow today, man. Dick Warlock says, on your interview with Logan, he touched upon predestination as if he's just living out the script. Do you believe in this concept? Is the Merovingian correct? You know, first and foremost, much love to Logan over at Decode Your Reality. He is such a incredible person to talk to. Like, he's definitely such a fascinating character. But as for my work and his work, they are quite different. Like, I focus on cryptocurrencies with my decoding, and crypto was made in the limelight, at least in 2007 or 2008. And this concept is so new, and it's all ran under the English language. Now, what Logan does is totally different. Logan works with the Chaldean cipher only, mostly, and then he's bringing in pi and the tarot cards and periodic table, and he's doing a lot of decodes that I don't even venture off into. I'm more focused on finances and how to help people through this great reset that we're about to enter. That I believe we've been in actually for quite a while. Like this World Economic Forum calling the Great Reset something new. I believe that the Great Reset actually started in the year 2000. It started with the speculation of the dot-com bubble. Then it popped during the Shemitah of 2000-2001, followed by 9/11, and that was the ritual to kick us off into the Great Reset, where 9/11 took away our privacy, and now they're trying to take away our sovereignty, and it'll just be a power grab after a power grab after a power grab. And I do believe that man, people, entities are the ones that are changing our reality by the code. Now, Logan and I have talked very little on this, so perhaps I would need to go to him and have this conversation to feel out where he feels based on this particular subject matter. But as for everything being scripted in my work, I don't think that's necessarily, as for everything being predetermined in my work, I don't really think that's so. I think that these elites are utilizing Gematria Numerology and Astrology to play God, to change the natural order of things. And that's where I will stick my feet firmly in the ground on that. I will not pivot from there. Again, I'm very open-minded, but everything that I've studied thus far has shown me that there is no need for us to go into financial crisis every 7 to 8 years. There's no need. Think about it, right? It must be manipulated to crash every 8 years. They're doing this on purpose because they could print infinite money at the press of a button on a computer keyboard. They don't need to let people suffer. They didn't need to have the housing crisis in 2008. They let it happen. The same way that they could inject our economy with trillions of dollars in less than a year is the same way they could help people get through financial chaos, but they don't. They script it so it's accordingly. And that is without doubt man interjecting in the system. There's nothing natural to there being a 7 to 8 year financial chaos. It's all regarding around money, which money in and of itself is man-made. So I hope that answers your question. I feel like I gave a lot of answers to perhaps a lot of other things that are going on in regards to how does this code work, whether this code is being used for if it's natural and it's just happening by accident, or if it's something that's being used purposefully to manipulate what's going on here. Sean Chev 710, thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate your super chat. Much love to you, brother. How's it going, LA 5333? Everything's great for me. Oscar, thank you. What pill are we taking tonight? Well, we start with the red pill, and then we kind of transition into like the purple pill, and then we have the that transitions into like some really maroon colored kind of pill, and then it becomes a black pill, and then it slowly starts to become translucent from there, and then we end up with like, what the hell did we just do over the last 2.5 hours? That's what pill we're taking. All right, Metal Man, Jen's husband, what's up, brother? Oh man, Noel Manlopus asks, have you deciphered ISO 20022? So really quickly, the 20 plus 22 gives us the 42, right? Or yeah, so it gives us the 42, and this 42 number is quite important. But I was decoding XDC earlier, and in the XDC decode, I went over to the Zinfin website, and if you go over to the Zinfin website and go to check the the About Us section, and then see the advisors for Zinfin, it's literally two of the it's the CEO and the COO of Bitcoin.com. And one of the programmer's pictures is a guy wearing a Bitcoin shirt. So it's just like one of the greatest red pills for all these people that are like ISO 20022, like for life people who think that it's like so great. But in actuality, they just don't understand the big picture here, which is that this whole system of going quantum is the most enslaving concept of all time. And if you're going to be rooting for these coins because they have quote unquote regulatory clarity or whatever the hell you think, you are living in La La Land. And it's just so ironic. The top 3 pictures of people in the Zinfin website are literally tied to Bitcoin. Anyways, side note, very funny for me. Yeah, these are some melted buildings for sure. Look at this. Look at this. There was a bank there one time. John D. Rockefeller's father used to own it. Yeah, they're absolutely melted buildings. But there could be some tree stumps here too. There could be some trees. You have to be open-minded, you know? You never know. I mean, this, you see this layering right here on this building? This layering definitely looks like a building, but it could also be a tree. I mean, gotta keep the mind open. Yeah, these cryptocurrencies are a little bit overheated, and it is kind of funny. If Bitcoin hits 42,000 before the end of this month, then that was technically correct. A call that I made a couple weeks ago saying the 42,000 in July. That'd be really funny if it hits that like in the final moments. Again, I don't really care. I mean, regardless of what happens, it's a bull trap that's coming in, more than likely, 80% chance. Wow, Australia is shut down again? Is that for real? Jeez Louise. Goodness gracious. You need a passport to go to the pub? Isn't that ironic? You're going to go use a vaccine passport to go damage your liver. I love shit like that. Like in Washington, D.C. here, they just changed it so that you have to wear masks again, even if you're vaccinated. But then it's like, if you go to a concert, you're going to be standing in a room full of people with a fucking mask on. Like, how does that, like, how did, how stupid could you be? Like, goodness gracious. I mean, this stuff will really work forever. In a liberal parasitic hellhole like DC or like Portland, I believe that those places will continue to be on lockdown indefinitely just because of the type of person who lives there. They will allow that to happen to them over and over and over again. Yeah, so Noel, the whoever said ISO 666, they were actually right. Like that was a factual statement, what they were trying to say. They were just saying it in a very eloquent sort of different way. And the reason why is because this system that's moving in is the beast system. The ISO 20022 system is the beast system. It is when the blockchain economy will be at the retail level, will be at the every person, it'll be popular. When those things start to come to play, the way that the people who support this ISO 20022 concept, well, then you're basically talking about the end times. You're talking about a cashless society. You're talking about having a wearable like a Apple Watch, which will be your payment method. Now, whether it gets as extreme as having a fucking chip in your hand or something, that's something we've yet to see be popular, but we have seen that actually be implemented in places such as Scandinavia. And there's even a couple companies here in the United States of America that do have RFID chip implants in the hand. I've seen a tech company in Minnesota do it. So it's a thing. And that's the whole purpose of this XRP, XLM, Algorand, IOTA bullshit that's moving towards the future. Like, again, don't get emotional when I say this stuff. Don't hate it. Don't date it. Just trade it. Make your money. Stop getting emotionally connected to this stuff. Because when you get emotionally connected to it, but then you learn what it's tied to, that's when you're going to start, like, feeling kind of awkward. Because your whole life you were supporting something that was fucked up. Now, that's something that we all have to like kind of look in the mirror and be able to look back at ourselves and say like, oh my God, did I really support this thing emotionally? It's like these people that lose their shit when you say that like Tom Hanks is a pedophile or something and they get all offended because it's like, but I love that one movie. I loved Castaway. It's like, bro, you're fucking emotionally connected to a Hollywood movie? You have a mental sickness. If you have such a mental sickness that you make your decisions about actors based on the movies they acted in, that's how you get caught up in the psyops of life. It's the same thing that goes for all these cryptos, including Bitcoin. Bitcoin is no different. Bitcoin's the father of it all. It's Uranus. It's the sky god, right? It's the ruler of all coins. And people might disagree with that, but it is what it is. Like, it went from sub 1 penny to 60,000. No coin has even gotten close to that. So if we're judging it off price action, we have a clear winner here. And it's not even, I mean, we're also judging it by on-chain metrics. We also have another clear winner. So it's funny, like more people get caught up in these nuances of conspiracy rather than just looking at the facts. And you could go on Grayscale, you could go check any data to go find this out for yourself. It's all on the blockchain. It's important that people get rid of the emotion in this stuff, please. Especially if we're going to be part of this community, because you're not going to hear me change. Like, I'm always going to be like this because I know the future of blockchain technology and I know what it's designed to do. It's not good. Right now, though, and I will clarify what I'm saying because we have like 300 people in here. Right now, we're in a prime opportunity to be able to make money off of it. And that's really nice. Like, I mean, making money is clearly something we're all here to do, regardless of where you stand on things. Like, I bet a lot of people in this space of cryptocurrency, what attracted them to it was to make money. And you want to know what's interesting about me? What got me into crypto was because I was scared of losing my money. I was scared of the fiat money system, of the Federal Reserve and devaluation of the dollar. That's what actually made me get really into crypto when I got into it. Now, I've learned a lot since then. I've learned that we're about to enter a recessionary environment in our economy, which is actually deflationary. So I've learned a lot. I'm humble enough to say that I've learned so much over the past 2 years about how money really works. And that comes from me studying the Shemitah, that comes from me studying Jubilee, and all of the Gematria Numerology connections that I made. But in actuality, I had a couple businesses that actually did really well, and I was scared of not being able to preserve my wealth. So that's what got me into crypto. So that might be why I'm in a much healthier mindset than some of the people could be in this, especially the content creating community. When it comes to the way that I attach onto these cryptos, like, I'm conscious about it because I see the big plan. I've studied Agenda 21 and I've studied Agenda 2030. I know what's going on here in the future. That has helped me with, alongside learning about all these esoteric market cycle, how do I say this? The cyclical nature of markets. The cyclical nature of markets and being able to take a lot of time to study that has helped me immensely in being able to see what's going on here. Because why hold a crypto for 5 years if it's going to lose 95% of its value after it's gained 10,000% in value? That's pretty much every altcoin that exists. You could name most altcoins, and that's the kind of moves they make. They go up about 10,000+% and then they retrace 90 to 95%. Do you go to your grave with like your tombstone saying that you held the longest? Like, no. So that hodl mindset is another problem. There's just so many things going on in crypto that I think people could emotionally detach from, and they could become a much better, in a much better position financially. Mike Phillips says, in Utah, we have Mothers Against Vaccines, and they're pushing back hard. Much love. Great. I love to see all the pushback. That's beautiful that people are organizing. Much love to you, Mike. Matt Sachs says something really good. He says, turn off the TV and there's no lockdowns or COVID. So a while back, about a year ago, somebody asked me if I was keeping up with the lockdowns and the pandemic. And I said, I don't watch TV. That was my response to them. And they said, what do you mean? That didn't answer my question. And I told them the only pandemic is the pandemic coming out of your television set. And they lost their fucking mind. They literally short-circuited like a robot that you threw water on. It was like the most funny moment of my life. See, when you talk with a bot, like one of those bot people that like they can recite Anthony Fauci quotes in their head, like those people are like the prime example that we're reaching a very precarious time in humanity. We're getting close to something changing, guys. Sarah, I hope you are doing really well as well. Much love to you. I would love to do more decodes, but I gotta admit, I did 4 decodes, and this has been a very difficult work for it's been a difficult month for me with workload, all these decodes that I've done. So perhaps I could do a quant decode in a month or 2. Fran Horvath says, this is old world order. Yes. Fran, I want to give you a hug. Imelda says, nothing is a coincidence. A few minutes before the podcast, I was Googling Kim Schmitz from .com. Nice. Interesting. So is there some sort of unrest, civil unrest going on in France? Let me know. I would love to know if there's any French people here. I'm sorry if I speak English very fast sometimes. I try my best to be clear when I speak. But if you're from France, please let me know how the hell is it going over there. I've heard that it's very, very interesting. Sarah says there's a lot of talk on the net of the U.S. military prepping for some big, maybe around Labor Day, which is the 6th of September. Oh, yeah. I am so excited for the Shemitah. I am so stoked. I'm getting ready. Hey, Sarah, you know, I gotta admit, I am going to keep everyone updated on everything that I'm doing as we lead up to that time. But what I will tell everyone is whatever fearful anything that comes out, like, please pay attention to the words that I'm about to give out to the universe right now. Do not have any fear at all. Whatever comes your way, don't have any fear. Period. If it seems like people are pushing out a food shortage agenda or some scare tactics about vaccines or whatever, just do whatever you have to do in the matrix to get through this time. And the best thing you could do is just focus on yourself and your family and your loved ones and just keep it moving. But as for what the military does, I really don't care what they do. I look at the military like the people who are being spellcasted and used by the rings of Saturn. They are being used by the cult, and they follow the orders of the cult. And anyone who creates bloodshed on this earth will be treated very poorly in the afterlife. That is how I feel about U.S. military and how I feel about all military. And I hope that anyone who's been a part of military has woken up to what they're really doing in that ritual, which is a blood sacrifice ritual of another human being. And again, cannibalism, or Cain and Abel, that's where we get that word cannibal from. Cain and Abel, killing your family, because we're all one. We're all brothers and sisters. So even if you don't know that person, it doesn't give you the right to kill them. And that's what military does. They murder. And murder is not, it's not, you. What can you do? Like, that's it. You've ended a life. You're now unworthy. That's it. That's the end of the game. I don't know what else more to say than that. So I don't focus on anything that comes out of military, regardless if they're people who are veterans or any of that. I could really care less. Because anyone who promotes or stands by legal murdering is not my friend. Jorge says, much love to all of you. Much love to you, Jorge. Appreciate you, brother. So Sarah says she does live in France. How didn't I know that, Sarah? The majority are rolling over and getting vaxxed. Of course they are. Of course they are. So XRP says, is it positive news regarding your XDC code? Well, it doesn't matter. You know, I'll stick to this, okay, guys? When it comes to my decodes, or when it comes to my outlook on cryptocurrency, we're in a bull run. And when we're in a bull run, everything is going to go up in price regardless of any of the detail, like any of the information. Like, it just all goes up because Bitcoin goes up. When Bitcoin goes up, everything else goes up. That's just how it works. So, yeah, that's as simple as that. If people really learn how this market operates, they can see it for that, and then they don't need to worry if it's positive or negative. Because, like I just said, ultimately, 3 to 4 years, maybe 5 years down the line, everything regarding blockchain technology is going to be extremely negative. And when we get to there, you're going to know why. Enrique says, do you think they will blame the crypto cycle for the economic crash? That is a good idea, Enrique. I haven't thought of it that way. I do think that crypto is going to be the first domino to fall, though. Like, if you look at how the economy is going to break down, I do believe it will start with crypto. And that's just because how cyclical everything else is. Like, I've studied the Amazon charts going back 20 years. And when you're studying these charts from the speculative tech stocks, the speculative tech stocks do really well leading up to a Shemitah. And then once we get through the Shemitah, we hit highs in the month of December, and then we roll over into March, make kind of quick dip lows into March. That's why I feel like February and March of 2022 are when we're really going to see big changes economically. But crypto, I feel, is just going to do what it always does, which it's going to hit all-time highs in December, and then that liquidity is going to roll over into the altcoins. And then no matter if it's a shit coin or if it's a major coin, like a blue chip style crypto, it's going to do well. The numbers says, do you believe in time travel? Well, I'll say this. I do think that when we dream, we're capable of entering 4th, 5th, 6th dimensional states. And during that, we are somewhat time traveling. But the problem with time travel is we're sort of unaware. Are we traveling through this timeline, or are we able to intersect into other timelines? And then I've also heard from somebody who's an astrophysicist who allegedly was working with the government and had ties to the Vatican's looking glass technology. And they were talking about how apparently there's only 2 timelines, and it's like an as above and so below timeline. And that's kind of what's problematic with CERN and this idea of like time manipulation through that. We kind of have like we have like a current timeline, and then we have like a manipulative timeline. And I think the elites have a tester timeline, like a timeline to fuck around with to see how it will affect the real timeline. Now, what might be really scary is we might not even be in this. We might be in the test timeline. Like we might be existing in a practice round timeline. Like I that's crazy to laugh at, but if you think about it for a second, like this idea that like this is the devil's playground, or just like any of that stuff that's like sleight of tongue. I don't know though. I'm open-minded. One second. Got 370 people in here. What is good, chat? Get some good questions. If we could get any good questions, maybe Ian or Sarah can take note for me, and then we could make reading the questions a little easier. All right, I'm alive. Let's go. Mark says, I'm following your videos on a daily basis. Even my girlfriend recognizes your voice. Oh, damn. Thank you for sharing all your knowledge and experiences to all the crypto lovers. Much love from Holland. Much love to you, Mark, over there in Holland. And tell your girlfriend I said, what is good, fam? Yeah, I already decoded Hedera Hashgraph on my Patreon. So just to let you guys know, the Patreon that's anyone's waiting on for the beginning of August, we will have 4 Gematria decodes already done for our Gematria Masterclass. It was Hedera Hashgraph, Digibyte, what else? We did XDC that I'm posting tomorrow, I believe. And then the first one was VeChain. So we broke down all 4 of those. And then I actually have a wrap-up video where I'm going to be giving everyone like my tips and like, kind of the way that I look at this from a decoding perspective when I'm setting up my notes. And that might help everyone. So I'm going to quickly write down the link to that. So that might help. Patreon.com/WatersAbove. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty dope. And then I also have a decode coming that I want to do for the Yellow Brick Road and for the Wizard of Oz, and implementing the time frames of some of the financial things that were going on during the what was it, the Kennedy slide, did they call it? I'm trying to remember that time frame, but I've been working on the numbers with Wizard of Oz and tying it into the Shemitah that they pulled out of that time frame, and implementing that into somewhat of a comprehensive outlook on Shemitahs from previous cycles, and looking at like how everything ramped up to this time we're at now with the tech stocks in early 2000 and then eventually cryptocurrencies. So that's going to be a really sick decode, I believe. Because the Wizard of Oz was so full of gems. Like if anyone has any if anyone has any Wizard of Oz decode stuff, definitely chat about it, because I would love to hear your thoughts. We got our homie New Titan 888. So I'm not sure if you're hearing me right now, New Titan, but I watched one of your videos, and you're fucking on it, brother. Like the way that you speak and the way that your mind enters a stream of consciousness, like I would love to have a conversation with you. So definitely reach out to me. New Titan 888, you definitely have a lot of you're sophisticated when you talk about the Bible, and clearly you're aware of etymology and just how the words work. And yeah, I really love the way that you broke down the one video I watched. So I appreciate you, and everyone here should definitely go check out what you're doing. What's going on? Chat? Dr. Savage, wow, brother. I appreciate you, Eric. Thank you so much, brother. From another fellow decoder, much love to you. You're always sharing really dope stories. You're always calling out the truth. We need more people like you, man. What's going on, chat? This is a pretty crazy video we're watching, right? Like the quality of this looks awesome. Some like drone footage of South Utah, I believe. Wow. So Majid says, can you see $100 XRP February? No. I'll let everyone know, like, my end of the year price target for XRP is between $7.60 and as high as $15. Now, the way that I got to that is using Gematria, but then also it does have a lot of significance in regards to technical analysis. So if anyone knows how to do TA, you could see that, like, the $7 to $8 level, predominantly like $7.60 to $8.60, those levels are pretty good. And if XRP really wants to get liquidity pushed into it, the $14 to $15 level would also make sense for a blow off top. But then we need to see how the structure holds up, because the problem with XRP is it doesn't really like to hold structure too much. So if it wants to go higher, expect it to fall really hard. And that's just technicals. XRP going to $100 is a pretty absurd thing to imagine. Like, you would need to consider market cap. You would need to consider circulating supply. It's just, come on. Like, I never say anything over $20 for XRP, because I like to take it one step at a time. And I've noticed that when I hear a lot of people ask me for my calls on XRP, they get really mad at me because I don't give them this insanely high number. But again, like, we're talking about a crypto that it was $3.30 in the last cycle, and it hasn't even broke that on this cycle. Now, that's pretty bad. Like, that's pretty poor performance. So why would we all go ahead and start shooting out 3-digit numbers if we don't even have performance? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine you had an Olympic athlete who won one time in the Olympics, and then the next Olympics he lost, and then the next Olympics he not only did he lose, but he came in like 8th place. Then the next Olympics were like, okay, like but everyone in the crowd's like, he's gonna win the gold medal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a little, like, I just don't think it's responsible for me as a content creator who also knows how to do technical analysis to be giving any numbers higher than $15. And if XRP starts getting to 12, 13, 14, then I would change and give some higher targets than that at that time. But until then, there's no point of caring too much about, there's really just no point of caring too much because we're sitting at like, what, 70 cents right now? So I rather take it for what it is right now, which is there's still a lot of volatility in this crypto. It could go from where it's at right now to as high as $1.40. It could maybe even go to $1.50. Then it could pull back down to 60 cents again. Then it could go up to $2.30. So if you could play that volatility, you're going to be in a very good position. And I'd rather be that guy. I'd rather be the guy who plays the volatility than gets caught up holding the bag. This way that I could always make sure that I'm taking profits. And then I don't care if it goes to $20 or $30 or $40 because I know how to make the play. Oh man, we got an agent in the chat. Can you guys get rid of this Christopher Miller troll, please? Boo doo 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 doo. Wow, we got so many people up in here. 396. Much love to all of you guys. Hassan Tazi says listening live at the top of the Hollywood sign. The total hike was 3.3 miles. Thanks for being a real one, Waters Above. Damn, man. Out of all the things you could be doing at the top of the Hollywood sign, at the top of Hollywood, Babylon, you're listening to my live stream, man. That means so much to me. Much love to you, brother. Really appreciate your support. Miriam Love, sending you love. Clint Gordon makes a good point. He says, what is meant for good can be used for evil, and what's meant for evil can be used for good. Yes, I believe so as well. Like, it's kind of like the internet, right? Like, the internet could be a very evil and awful place, and it could also be looked at on a more micro level. Like, you could say that YouTube is full of censorship, and it's really draconian, and it's, you know, holding back content creators. But then you could also say, like, look at the way we're all communicating right now. It's the way that we've been able to go through this live stream and communicate with each other and have open-minded conversations. And I believe that's really the good side of it. So although it might be perceived as evil by some, we're trying to use it for good, which is spreading the truth. What else is going on in this chat? Wow, I think this is the most people we've had on a live stream consecutively in a long time. The number one waffler. Go reach out to me, brother. Ronan says, do you think we're living in the end times? You know what? I think that we need to consider the age. So perhaps we're just in the end age, but that doesn't mean anything. It's kind of easy to get caught up on the negativity of this concept of the end times. And when some people have high anxiety and high stress, they'll hear this terminology and they'll apply it, and they will start to become like weaker. And when I started thinking about like what's going on in the final days or whatever, you know, whether the world goes to shit in 10 years or 20 years or 30, I've disregarded that because I've tried to make time become more an illusion. So when we think about the end times, we need to understand that time is man-made, and it's the illusion that we all are cast under. And that's what Saturn's role is, Saturn being Father Time. So there is no end times. There's just recycling. There's just a recycling of something. And now whether that's human beings or whether that's the picture we're looking at right now. If what we're looking at on the screen was once a luscious rainforest, which got depopulated by the Anunnaki and then turned into some crazy, like, look at that. That's like a coliseum right there. It got turned into some crazy society with amazing technology and skyscrapers and flashing lights, and then we had a huge catastrophic event, which essentially was a plasma event that wiped this all out, melted this all down, and then super cooled all of it, and now we have what's called a desert. So it was the end times for something, but now it's just a new thing. It's become something else, and we've had to pack up our bags and go and try it out somewhere else. It's just the trials and tribulations. So I try to think about it from an infinite perspective rather than applying it all and being like sad and look at it negatively. Because a lot of people give up, quite a few people give up when it gets to become too dark. And I don't really want to talk about that too much, but needless to say, that is kind of the thought there on that. Much love, Tyler Perkins. Wolfpack for life. The end of the bull run is never, in terms of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's in a forever bull run, but all the altcoins, some of them are in forever bull runs, and it just determines what you're looking at. But are you talking about the end of the cycle that we're in? Most likely in December for Bitcoin, as late as December for the altcoins, as late as February for some of the altcoins, excuse me. And that's going off of technical analysis and market cycles and studying Shemitah, studying Jubilees, etc. Yes, quant is definitely a major player in the New World Order. Look at the word quant, like quantum. That's what we're moving into. We're moving into quantum. Los Lopez says, what are your top 10 cryptos for this bull run? Well, I think I told you guys, obviously from a ROI perspective, I'd be looking at things like T-Fuel, Theta, Zilliqa, and probably something like a V-Chain also. And then I would also be considerate of VTHO, the governance fee token for V-Chain, or the staking token, excuse me. And then what else? I don't know, man. There's so many cryptos out there. There's so many. They're all going to do good. Seriously. Like, an alt season doesn't leave any stragglers behind. Alt seasons are all nuts. Just everything fucking moons. But one other one that could be a good opportunity that I was looking at, and again, this is not financial advice. Don't copy what I'm about to say. But Icon, ICX, I believe. That one looked really promising just because it's super suppressed. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. But having 10 or more holdings is kind of like a little bit too diversified. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, but if you don't have a solid portfolio and you have like 15 different investments, you're probably going to have a really bad overall entry position in a lot of those plays just because it's super complicated. You need to be a pretty damn good investor to have so many investments. It's actually kind of funny, like, back to this conversation of crypto being a nascent technology and how so many people have just entered this space starting in January and February of this year. This is kind of an interesting thing because a lot of those people were holding like 10 to 15 different coins. And it's like, damn, no wonder why they got finessed last May. It was so easy to take their money from them because they didn't even know what they were doing. They're holding too many bags. So Septico, Texas, I actually did add what I'm selling. So if you look at the Discord now, if you look at the Discord, you'll see it says what I'm buying and selling. So go take a look at that and you'll see I updated that like last week. And that's where I'm going to be updating. So if anyone joins the Patreon Mastermind Community membership, you're going to be able to have access to everything I buy and everything I sell when I'm buying and selling it. And I update that live. So if anyone's been in my Discord, you can see like all of the times that I was buying T-Fuel and Vitho and Cardano and all the shit that I was buying last month. I was making a lot of entries last month because it was such a good time to buy. The number one waffler says, do you believe that we live on a flat earth with us in the middle out of our little dome with rings of other civilizations? This theory is very interesting. I believe we live in an infinite plane. I don't believe we live in like a flat earth, but I do believe we have a firmament dome, and I only feel that way because of so many connections that I made throughout my journey of understanding. As for the other things that you mentioned, rings of other civilizations outside of us, yes, that's very possible. But I would take into the infinite realm idea more with the theories of a guy who breaks down a concept called Crater Earth. That's a very intriguing concept, and I believe that his work is some of the best that exists. So you could always Google Crater Earth, or you could YouTube search Crater Earth, and you'll see the guy that I'm talking about. So Stuart Scott, Satan isn't who we think it is. Satan is Saturn, and that word play has been sort of manipulated. What people miss, like the representation of the demon that they're typically talking about is Lucifer, who is Venus. Venus being the divine feminine energy. And that is Lucifer. And again, that's not good or bad. None of this is good or bad. When you take the red pill, all the good and bad shit goes away. So Eduardo Funes, I believe I said your name right, brother. By the way, I like your cute little koala picture. He said, why is XRP held by paper hands? It's already dumping. So yeah, the XRP problem is because it's mostly held by retail. I've been telling everyone that since the start of my YouTube channel. A lot of people have gotten really upset with me when I say that, but it's provable. You could actually, it's just proven on the blockchain, and it's also proven by the price action. Essentially, every time XRP pumps, it has a 45 to 55 day dump after that, and it keeps happening time and time and time and time again without any exception. So again, if you're somebody who's aware of that, then you would be able to catch these drops, and that's why XRP is a trader's coin. It's not a hodler's coin. You don't want to be hodling XRP for life. It's not ever performed well as a hodler's coin. It's always performed really well as a trader's coin, and that's why the whales will step in, pump up liquidity. They'll fake people out with that pumped up liquidity, get them to buy into bull traps, and then they'll pull them right back down. And then once they get them into bear traps, they'll send it the other way and keep retail FOMOing into the middle over and over and over again. So retail can barely make profits on these moves if they wanted to trade. And it's because they think that this thing's just going to go to $1,000 like all these YouTubers are saying, but it's never going to happen. Well, you know, I don't like saying it's never going to happen because yes, sure, it's possible that XRP could go to 100 to 1,000, sure, but baby steps, right? Like, let's get it to 10, then let's get it to 20, then let's get it to 30, and when it breaks up higher than that, we could entertain the idea of 100 and 1,000 and etc. Because on my last live stream, I said, you know, I was telling people, like, come on, like, XRP to $1,000, like, you're saying that out of emotion. Like, what's making you say that is because of the hopium that gets injected into the main vein. And if you were to remove that syringe and come back to reality, you'll see that there's a discrepancy between a $1,000 XRP and where we're sitting at today. But when newer investors are being told day one by the algorithm of YouTube, because by the way, the algorithm winner of YouTube is the XRP army. They won. They beat the Bitcoin maxis. They beat the Chainlink Marines. They beat the Dogecoin dildos. Like, they won. So the XRP army won. They're like the Christians. They won the religious game. So with that being said, like that's why this narrative of multiple $100 XRP remains, and people won't let go of it for the death of them. And I really wish that, like, I mean, I won't wish anymore. I hope my work can be a beacon of light to snap people out of that type of mentality, because I am okay with the idea of a $100 XRP. But why would I sit there caring about that number ever coming to fruition if we're not even close to it? We have to be responsible adults here. Like, we have to be investors. If we're sitting at a 70-cent XRP and we're thinking about a $1,000 XRP, we're living in a fantasy reality. That's not what grown-ups do. Like, that's not what sophisticated investors do. So I just want people to, like, kind of taper it down, you know? Like, don't worry about a $100 XRP until we get close to there. Then we could start having that conversation. Joey says, dude, you got to get on the Syncretism podcast with Santos Bonacci. Found him out via him in that interview with Logan. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing a round 2 interview with Logan soon. And if the folks over at Syncretism would like to have me on, I will accept. They, Santos knows so much about what he's a student, what he's a scholar of, and I would love to chat with him someday. He has some interesting outlooks, and also Santos was one of the first people to ever enlighten me on the idea that all of our paperwork in regards to our social security numbers and birth certificates and all of that stuff is essentially owned by the Vatican. Like, our social security numbers are traded on the stock exchange. We are property. That's crazy, right, to think? But it's true. And Santos does a great job at proving some of that information. I'll quickly look at this chart really quick, and then I'll jump back into this. Yeah, today's looking... things are a little too bullish. I'm not a fan of just straight line. This would be the 8th straight day of Bitcoin going up. Oh, geez, man. It's going to be the 10th straight day in a row of Bitcoin going green. And people need to understand that the last time that we did 9 days was in 2011. So this is like a record-breaking daily close that we're about to see on Bitcoin. You see that that green moving average right there is the 200 exponential. We came back and back tested that perfectly today. Then we bounced off of it, and now we made a higher high in the structure. We're breaking previous high structure in the chart. If I remove all these insane moving averages. Yeah, you could see that we broke previous high in the structure too. So this is as bullish as it gets. Like, we're probably going to see $50,000 Bitcoin in early August. And this RSI is getting, this needs to cool off. It would be really nice if this weekend could be flat and boring and just maybe the altcoins can catch up. But Bitcoin's a little too bullish. From a fundamental and technical perspective, I would like to see this chill the fuck out. Yeah, we're about to see a 5-day cross on the MACD too. That's massive. But I'll do my technical analysis on this in tomorrow's video. XRP is pretty much flat too, so it's kind of boring. Let's see if we could get some songs. We've been running through the entire solfeggio frequency. So R.F. Frank Robinson. Yeah, the Wizard of Oz definitely had references to gold, silver, precious metals in general, like the Tin Man, and also the cow, or the lion being the Lion of Judah, and the Judah coming back to the Jews and Zionism. It's a very fascinating concept there. The Wizard of Oz was a pineal buster. Marcus Hibbard says, do you ever listen to Crow77? I don't believe I know who that is, but please share their information with me. I'll check it out sometime if I have time. So many people up in here, 400. I appreciate every single one of you. David says, have you used frequencies with water for manifestations? Can you clear up your question a little bit, David? I'm sorry, I can't understand what you meant. Apologies for that, brother. John Waring says, what do you think of Garda wallet? I believe you could hold XDC on there, right? I'm not entirely sure too much about that particular wallet. So Trevor Noel, the movie The Wizard of Oz and the story of The Wizard of Oz was very multifaceted, but the symbology of it could be broken down into many things. And I will get to that when I'm ready to give that decode, because there's just so many things I need to focus on in regards to that. Clint Irving says, I wanted to buy some hoodies. How do the size ratings relate to Australian sizes? Does Australia have different clothing sizes from America? I didn't know that. I'm like the wrong guy to ask about clothing sizes, because even though I'm like 140 pounds, I love wearing like XL hoodies. Like I always wear super baggy clothing, so I'm probably the wrong guy to ask about sizing stuff. I'm sorry. But I did buy a large t-shirt as a sample to just check out the quality, and I really like the quality, and that shirt fit me really nicely. But again, it was American sizing, so sorry I can't answer that. Maybe if someone else here has bought a t-shirt or one of the tank tops or something from my store and lives in Australia, maybe you could let Clint Irving know how they fit. But Clint, I will be releasing the hoodies probably by next month, since it's winter time over there in your neck of the woods. And we're going to be transitioning into the fall time over here. It'd be dope to have some hoodies, and we're also going to try to do some beanies and dad caps and some other things. Dougie Fresh says, so when do you think utility comes into play and its price? I don't believe in this terminology of utility, and I'll just lay out my feelings on that right now. This narrative being pushed of utility comes from Crypto Teacher, and Crypto Teacher and me are like the antithesis of each other's work. Although he likes using the word NWO, like New World Order, quite a bit, outside of that, he just kind of reads people news, and I don't really have the time for it. And he always talks about this term called utility, and I believe utility will be bad for crypto. The way that he's exposing utility, it's going to bring lots of bad draconian changes to the world. The utility phase is what's going to remove the volatility. And when the volatility goes away, that's when the amount of ROI gets diminished. So the more the volatility decreases, the ROI also has diminishing returns. So utility is not good. It's not good from a perspective of making money. It's not good for a perspective of preservation of wealth. It's not good for from a regulatory position, and it's not good for the overall plan of what blockchain technology and what cryptocurrency was designed to be, which is essentially to usher in a cashless society where everything's traced and tracked. So that's the guy that predominantly pushes the utility mindset, and I'm really not a huge fan of this ideology that Crypto Teacher pushes, because just it's ridiculous. To me, it doesn't really make sense. And I remember him predominantly using this term all the way back into like 2020 when I first started really getting into my work, not really the YouTube scene, but when I was working with some private clients, I was helping some people get into cryptocurrency, and when I was starting up my course. And I remember like January, February, and March, every single video that guy Crypto Teacher released, he said that the bull run's going to end. He just kept saying like, oh, this is the top for Bitcoin. It was 30,000. Then it goes up to 40,000. Oh, it's the top. Then it went to 50,000. Oh, it's the top. Then it went to 66,000. He just kept saying it over and over and over again for so many months. And because he removed his comments on YouTube, I was just kind of waiting like, hey, is anyone going to call this guy out on like saying the bull run is over every fucking video? Like, But anyways, I don't know who that guy is, but he's the one that's predominantly pushing the ideology of the utility phase, and it's yeah, I don't agree with anything that he's saying. And you guys know me, I never talk about other YouTubers. I try my best to just keep in my own lane and not say anything, but I've been having so many people come to my community talking about this utility phase, and they're always kind of pushing it in this ideology of XRP going to the moon, and I don't believe that that's how it's going to work. Again, it comes back to the hopium and feeling good about an investment you made. And when you're an investor, you never want to feel good about the investments you want to make. You want to feel that you've aggregated enough data so that whenever you make an investment, you don't feel as worried by it. It's kind of a different story. And when it comes to speculation on crypto, you really have to be careful with that kind of stuff. What's up, Sugar Palm Nap? Oh man, this chat's getting a little bit off. We got Canberra, Australia in the house. What's up, Jordan? Jordan Serene. So Marcus Hibbert, or any of you guys, if you want to get me in contact with that crow guy that you're talking about, that'd be cool. I'll chat with somebody. Whoa, Godfried from Ghana. My man. I actually had somebody today who purchased a course from Namibia. I believe I'm saying that right. Namibia. It's amazing, man. It's amazing how this word and this channel is growing globally. I can't believe all the people that have been watching the channel from Africa, sending you all love and high vibrations. It's really amazing to see that. We have more people joining from Eastern Europe, lots of people from Latvia and from Ukraine. Sending love to all of you. I wish we could get more people from like Japan and Korea and China and these Asian countries, but I know that there's a language barrier, and the language barrier makes it difficult to spread the word. But it would be so awesome to have more people from China, especially because they've dealt with this draconian reality firsthand. So just imagine like these red-pilled people from China, and like how beautiful their mindset could be, and the wisdom that they could help us with. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine we could go back in a time traveling machine and ask the people who lived during the Great Depression what that was like, or ask the people in World War II, like, hey, what was it like to live in that reality? Like, because I think about that quite often, you know, like you hear people bitching and moaning about how COVID is like the worst thing ever, and like it's a lockdown and you can't do anything, blah. Yet, are you kidding me? If you lived in Germany during World War II, there was fucking fire bombs in your cities. Like Dresden got firebombed. So trust me, we're not even close to how bad it could get. Seriously. Like, people really need to open up their minds to that. COVID is not that bad. Like, your government is giving you all this free money. Like, you could pretty much do a lot of the things you used to do. When you have a firebomb land in your city, there's no more Uber Eats. When you have a firebomb land in your city, there's no more buying Bitcoin or looking at cryptocurrency charts. Like, that game is up, right? So I believe that we need to come together and be able to spread the word and fractal this project out to all the corners, you know, so that we could get as many people up in here sharing their mindsets, because I know that it could get really bad, but it's not nearly as bad as it's been. You know, it's been pretty rough out there in the streets. I couldn't even imagine what it's like to live in some places that just got completely decimated by wars, and they were wars that did not need to happen. Like Libya, for instance. What a fucked up war that was. And it can make you really salty about, you know, about these nations and their militaries and what they do to each other. But Anyways, the point of what I was trying to say was it would be really awesome if we could have more people coming in from other countries to share their perspectives with us of what it's really like to live during these times where, you know, like they're trying to ban Bitcoin every other week and it's not working. And then they're doing this, that, and whatever with these Chinese social score systems. I mean, I've even heard that in the UK right now, they're trying to implement the Chinese social score. Is that true? Does anyone know if that's actually factual? I mean, how are people responding to that? That's insane. Because, you know, we can never trust the news. We can never possibly we can never possibly trust the news with that information. It would have to come from us. It would have to come from the people in this community. I'm going to have to go back to the video so that I could catch up with these questions because this is getting off. We have 400 people up in here. That is insane. So awesome to see so many people up in here. Just bear with me for 1 second, everyone. I'm trying to find my place in the questions. My questions are getting all messed up. I'm just going to scroll to the bottom. Rob Neal said, yeah, so half of everyone I know here in Latvia, they had their grandparents or their relatives sent to Siberia, so people need to chill. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm glad you guys, so Rob, I'm glad that you see where I'm coming from. Like, I'm trying to tell people, like, it's not that bad right now, you know? Like, it's really not that bad. It could get way crazier, and I think that it's important that, I think it's impossible that we how do I say this? I just think it's more important for us to be open-minded to how bad things could really get. How do I detach this chat so that I can look at it, catch up somehow? Liberty Prime says this channel is so popular now it's flooded with hate negative parasites. Not sure. Maybe I'm late to this idea. I hope it's not. I mean, I know who you are that said that. I'm not sure what you mean, brother. Hermano Bronco says, love you, brother. Love you too. All love to you guys. All right, let's see where we're at with these chats. How's it going, your own Gartner? Much love, brother. You guys are talking about Elvis? Well, Elvis married like a child, so he's technically a pedophile. I would assume that we need Elvis to go. Oh man, I'm seeing. Oh shit. Kevin Seeker says, Jordan, please get a tattoo. I did not commit suicide. Oh shit, that made me laugh, man. Yeah, you guys know if I don't show up on the internet for like a week, it's probably something probably happened. How's it going, Natalie D? She says, is the bull trap still in Jennifer XRP and BTC? So Natalie, yes, for Bitcoin more than anything else. And then after Bitcoin kind of gets rejected, that's when we would expect for the altcoins to get some liquidity. And that's when we would expect XRP to catch up. So I hope that makes sense. Basically, the way that everything works is everything goes up with Bitcoin after Bitcoin has topped. Bot monitor. Oh man, yeah, these questions are just getting eaten up. I can't see any of them. Bada bing, bada boom. $400 people in the Matrix. What's good, fam? So Jason Asher says, where do you find that info about social security number being traded on the stock market? So Jason, I want you to go ahead and check out Santos Bonacci's work and check out some of his insights into it. But then also, there's a lot of other people that have discussed this idea in regards to the whole birth process, creating a birth certificate, and having the doctor, who's the dock man, like the dock man at at the port. This is all a big ritual of it's recreating a ritual. So you should look into that more through the work of Santos in regards to this social security number thing. But then there's a bunch of people who discuss it. It's weird for me. I learned so many things, and sometimes it's just really difficult for me to remember the people I learned them from. Do, 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 do. Happy Man says, most definitely you're a beacon of light. I woke up out of the XRP cult through your clear work. Wow. Thank you. That's what I'm trying to do, man. I'm trying to get people to wake up from the slumber. Let's just do a little market cap. Let's just look at that really quickly for shits and giggles. I believe I have this on speech. It'll speak out the result so that we could hear it clearly. We're going to take this market cap right here, which again, it could increase. Come on, computer. Is my shit frozen? What's going on? One second, family. As this XRP market cap fucked everything up. Oh no, it's not gonna read it back to me, motherfucker. So that looks like a $4.6 billion market cap. No, trillion, sorry. Is that correct? Why can't it just read it? Why does it have to do that? My computer is so laggy right now. If somebody can just confirm the market cap of XRP, if it was $100 a token, that'd be really nice. My computer is like, doesn't want me to do more than I'm having it do. So, Sarah, yeah, you make a good point. So 3 to 4 days backtesting 40K would also be good for the RSI. But then, yeah, no gap on the CME would be good. But then we already have that gap at like 32,000 that came up from last week. So there's gaps. The gaps don't really matter too much, but I do believe the upside gap, the first upside gap between like 49,000 is going to get filled. And then that one is like pretty much where I'm expecting the price to probably wick up to 50K really quickly. And then we'll fulfill the bull trap. So Nelson says, are you a long-term Bitcoin holder? Well, because my entry on Bitcoin is around $7,000, it's easy for me to be long-term in it because my ROI is so high right now. So because all the Bitcoin I own is like $7,200 or $7,300 entry, I really don't care like where it goes. Even at the end of the next bear market, I'm going to be in profit. So I do see a reason for me to hold at least a couple Bitcoin forever if I can, but I'm just going to see how it goes. I do consider it the smartest long-term play because it's the one that's the whales are accumulating the most. So I'm just looking at it kind of like a future property. Like I sort of see that happening with Bitcoin and the tokenization of real estate. I see there being a narrative by 2026 to 2027 where like a Bitcoin is like $300,000 on average, kind of like a house today is $300,000 on average. So if you could kind of imagine what that conversation would be like. Like, remember how a year ago, Bitcoin being at like $10,000 was pretty crazy. And then it surpassed the price of like an average car. So now one Bitcoin could buy you a car. Well, I think at the end of the next bull run, a Bitcoin will buy you a house and it'll be looked at like as a serious asset. Craig Wilson, I'm glad you made it, brother. Oh, Matthew Weaver, we got a super chat. What are your thoughts on the population count 26,000 years ago or more? I'm assuming the World Economic Forum reptiles have been performing population control since day one. What an interesting question, Matthew. You know, I don't know. 26,000 years ago, man. That was a really long time. Like, I mean, I believe that we're going like biblical. We're going beyond biblical here with this question. So I gotta think about that one a little more. You know what I can say? I do believe in resets, and I do believe that we probably had the reset we're looking at right now, which is on the screen, some sort of super plasma fire, melting event followed by a super cooling event, and this creating a new terrain in most of the Americas and a lot of the deserts of the world. And then I think we had a reset before that, which was probably something akin to the pole shift. And then we probably had a reset before that, and that would be hard to tell if that's like the Noah flood. It's just so hard to tell because of time manipulation. I was watching this guy, and this might be interesting to you if you haven't already watched his work, and it is the work of, I believe his name is Martin, over at Flat Earth British, and he was sharing all this information about paintings that were from the 1500s and how like the one in the 15 and 1400s, the paintings had like a 1, so it would be like a 1 450, like for 1450, but the 1 looked like an X, or like they made their ones look all fucking weird. So like we could actually assume that maybe it was from the year 400. Like we don't know. The only reason we know about the dating of stuff is because of the number that was written on whatever stuff was left behind, So it's really hard to understand this idea. It's really hard to. But I hope I answered your question. I believe there's multiple resets. And as for 26,000 years ago, I don't know how we as human beings would have any measurement system to be able to determine what happened 26,000 years ago. So whatever those numbers are, it's probably a clear psyop. Someone says that Coach JV talks about utility and he's your buddy. So we do need to understand that I am my own guy and Coach JV is his own guy. Like, we're different people and we're allowed to have different opinions and outlooks on the way that we look at money. So just because he has his opinion in that regard doesn't mean that we have to have the same opinion in order to be able to chat with each other. Like, I'm not entirely sure what the point of you saying that was, but okay. And like, you know, if you're saying that based off of what I said about Crypto Teacher, I'll talk to Crypto Teacher. I'll have a podcast with him. If he wants to talk with me, let's go. I would love to. Maybe he's fucking awesome and has an amazing vibration and he's a really cool guy to talk to. I don't know. I'm just going off the content he shares, which to me is not my cup of tea. But at the end of the day, whatever, man. Like, the whole world isn't supposed to be doing the same exact thing. We're all fulfilling our role. Like, I do what I do, which is focusing on Gematria and cryptocurrency technical analysis. And some people just focus on the news. Some people focus on like one particular thing. Like the SEC lawsuit, like that one guy, Hogan or whatever, like his whole career is based off of the covering in YouTube videos of the SEC case. Like, people love this guy. They think he's like the greatest guy ever, but his whole angle is covering a case. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You guys are aware, right, that the government is theater. Like, everything regarding law is theater. So it's just, there's irony in there. Like, there's deep embedded irony into all of that. And I just think it's kind of hilarious how someone could have an entire anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't need to talk about other people. I'm just trying to say that whatever their angle is, we don't necessarily need to align in order to be helping in whatever way we align. I don't know what else to say. What is going on in the Matrix? So, Blackfoot Barber, how are you doing? If you'd like to learn how to decode and you are in the Gematria Masterclass, or I know you're in the course, so you've definitely seen my information on how I do decodes in my Gematria Masterclass, since all that information is also shared on the Mastermind course. Just definitely try to utilize some of the things I'm doing, where I'm using those 4 base ciphers, and then I'm also using the Chaldean cipher, and then I'm always looking into the symbology of the logo. So, for instance, if you wanted to decode Amazon, you could go to their page on Wikipedia and you could start to see all the dates and all the people tied to them. You could start decoding Jeff Bezos, and, you know, then you could start looking into their logo, which is literally a phallus. And then, you know, start messing around from there, and you're going to see a lot of patterns. And really, decoding is just about getting as many patterns as you can and trying to find some of the prime numbers and triangular numbers and Fibonacci numbers. And once you start seeing all that come into play, you can start compiling confluence, see all the confluence you get. And that's how you decode anything, regardless if it's a stock or if it's a crypto or whatever. So, that's a funny name. What are my thoughts on a Black Swan event? Everyone, like, okay, I'll give my quick Black Swan event rant. This has become such a buzzword, okay? Like, we need to put that behind us. Black Swan event is just becoming too much of a buzzword. It's kind of like bear market or like bull run. These words are just like, very few people understand the definitions of the words, and they just say it because they've watched a bunch of videos where these people are saying it. And yeah, that could get pretty rough. So I don't think anything should be looked at as a Black Swan event. I think that everything is capable of being decoded, and if you know how to do Gematria and numerology and basic astrology, you can start to be able to see the patterns of where these elites like to make their key ritual dates. And if you can nail down the time frame, then you can start examining deeper and deeper and deeper into that. And you could see the reason why we had the quote unquote Black Swan event of February 24th, where COVID-19 like hit the world stage and it created a stock market decline. That was exactly 222 what was it, weeks? Let me back test that really quickly, because I'm working on so many dates right now that my mind is starting to get like jambalaya. Boo-doo-doo. This is a good website, by the way, timeanddate.com, if you haven't used it already. There's a connection here. Was it March 11th? So March 11th was the pandemic being considered a pandemic by the World Health Organization in 2022. And if you go from March 11, 2022 back to 9/11 of 2001, you get 222 months. So this 222 number is really important, because the same thing happened with the dot-com bubble crash to the crypto crash. The crypto crash to the dot-com bubble crash was also 222 months. And I'll show you that really quickly. This would be a little live exercise for the family. So you can see right here, dot-com bubble, the 10th of March, 2000. So remember, from 9/11 to COVID being a pandemic, it's 222 months. So let's go from March 10th, 2000, which was about a little less than a year before this event. And then we go up to here, which is the 2018 cryptocurrency crash, which is the 20th September 2018. It's always something happening in September, eh? So you could see right there, 20th September to the dot-com bubble crash. And this gives us 222 months. So every 222 months, we seem to have some sort of black swan event, if you want to call it that. But it's based on using from one date to the next. And now we could have fun with this. We can say from the pandemic, which was the 3/11. Again, remember, the pandemic was on 3/11, but the dot-com bubble crash started on 3/10. So March is a very key date, or sorry, key month. It's a very key month. Let's go from this date right there. And what would we get? Like, what is it, 2026 maybe? It'd probably take some time, right? Oh, shit. Yeah, we're looking at like way out. Yeah, this wouldn't even be smart to do. This would be better to take like the 2008 crisis, right? Because that was the big one. Subprime loan. Or even this date right there, the start of the bear market, which led to the financial crisis. So let's take October 2007. This is like we're having fun on a live show here. That's pretty close. So was that 5 months before? We're looking at sometime in April. 420. Let's get it down to the twos, though. So where does that put us? Like the 13th or so? So look at what this does, right? If we take from this crash right here, the financial crisis of 2007, 2008, which started in September 16th. Remember, these all start in September and then go into like March or April. See right here, the European sovereign debt crisis starting in April. So we have this crisis starting on the 16th of September. Wait, did I set this up? I should have. Oh, no, sorry. Excuse me. October, we set it up. October 11th, this one right here of 2007. And this brings us to some shit in 2026. So this could be saved in your calendar as like an event that could come. And we could do the same thing with this right here with September 16th the next year. And then just shift this a year, and we're probably going to have another event giving us the 222. So don't be surprised by this if this happens. Like, don't be surprised. Again, it would be a couple of years before the Shemitah, and typically before a Shemitah starts, there's definitely a little correction. Just like we're about to enter a Shemitah in September of 2021, but then we had the COVID crash back in March of 2020. That was a pretty substantial distance of months. But you could see that COVID crash was from 222 months from another event, and it's just continuing. It just keeps going, and they're putting us on this time loop. Oh, man. You know, it'd be cool to like see some sort of different scenery. Oh, look at that. Look, Namibia. That's the person who bought my course. They're from there today. Very cool. Oh, this is only 6 minutes long. Sick. Whoa. This place looks gnarly. Oh my goodness. Yo, Ian, have you ever seen this place before? Look at this. It's fucking crazy, man. All right. Hazeman says, Jordan, you sound like an East Coast guy. Yeah, that's because I'm from Brooklyn. So Devin Albrecht says parse, syntax, grammar, Black Law Dictionary. Yeah, man. So there you go. You have some information there, regards to the compounding of this idea of the Social Security numbers and the birth certificate. So that's great. Thanks for sharing your information with us, brother. Bird Dog 45 says, can we shelf crypto talk for a month and just do nature drone footage? Yeah, right? Like, this is sick. Just hanging out here looking at these crazy fuck, man. I want to go to Namibia. How do I get to this place? I probably need a private jet or something. I'm sure there's like no flights that go there. No flights from the States, at least. XRP Crypto Mom, much love to you over in Australia. I hope you are doing well. Yes, Santos is Australian as it gets. But I think his family's from Croatia originally, but I'm not sure. I might be wrong about that. Noel says, don't get emotional with all the cryptos, is what he is saying. That is true. Thank you for reiterating that. Yeah, it's okay to have, it's okay to invest in anything. It's just not good to get emotional about it, because at the end of the day, like, none of these technologies are gonna, yeah, they're just here for us to be part of the wealth transfer. That's all. That is all. Yeah, $4.3 trillion market cap is redunculous. But hey, it's possible. I'm not gonna say that it's impossible, but So Jay Chef says my daughter loves it when you seek. Sorry, I don't know if I read that right. Oh, when you swear. Oh man, well, I hope your daughter's not that young, cuz sometimes I just like let it all out, That's just that's my character. Wow. What is going on? What is going on in the Matrix? There needs to be like this place is crazy looking. Imagine just driving through a desert like that. That'd be wild. I think I'm going to be watching Namibia drone footage for a while, guys. This is my new thing. Sarah says the Gematria and especially the 58-day cycle low to low that Jordan has spotted has transformed my trading. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's what's up. So chill money. It sounds like you're the least bit chill human in this group. So maybe it's time that you head on out of here. Eh? See you later, guy. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. It's only high vibes up in here, man. We're just trying to bust pineal glands open and have a good time, The world already is full of bots. We don't need them up in here in our chat. Thank you guys for helping get these bots out of here too. It's important because there's so many amazing questions and good people in this that I'm trying to focus on that and not have to. Oh man, brain in chains. Chill money sits down to go pee. I don't know why jokes like that are so funny because they're not offensive, but they're actually they're the type of humor that I love at the same time. Yeah, Infinite Loops, Martin Liedtke, he's really special. I would love to be able to chat with Martin. That would be crazy to get a podcast with Flat Earth British. I think me and that guy would have such a killer time. He's a little ranty sometimes about things when he's talking with other people. So I don't know how that would work for mine and his personality. But again, it would be really cool to just be able to talk with him. Maybe when we start getting the channel to the 20-30K mark, bigger channels like his will want to collab. Because the two guys that I really want to collab, well, the two beings that I want to collab with, I'm sorry, I take that back, are John Levy for sure. But his channel is massive. I can't find that guy's email. I can't get in touch with him. But definitely John Levy. And then secondly, it would be God Gave Lamst, the guy that does the Crater Earth work. They're both not crypto guys, and that's exactly why I would want to talk with them. It was so sick to have that podcast with Logan because our channel needs to be like, this channel is about crypto, obviously, but there's going to be a lot of, it's going to be attracting a lot of people that aren't necessarily just into the idea of like being part of this wealth transfer. There's going to be a lot of people that get attracted to this because of the concepts and the, this more esoteric stuff that we're talking about. So anyways, it would be awesome to be able to get in touch with John Levy and see if we can make that happen sometime. How's it going, Stella? Much love to you. this guy says, yeah, don't talk about other people, bad juju, right after he's done calling Coach JV a tool. Like, what? The dude, what are you talking about? Like, go home, bro. I love when people act like that. That's crazy. Stop. Like, everyone wants to talk shit about other content creators, but like, here's what you got to do, all right? Like, Coach JV's making a living off of what he's doing, and he's helping people, and he's running a fucking gym. Like, what do you do? Like seriously. Like, if you don't vibe with him, then that's cool and all, but like, you're spell casting all this negative shit, but meanwhile this guy he has a family, he has children, like, he's a human being, man. Like, see people for what they are. Like, he's hardworking. I know he works way harder than 99% of the fucking world. I've talked to the guy multiple times. So like, if you don't vibe with him, that's cool. But like, the trash talking, because it's just like a little bit low level stuff. And then to say like, don't talk about people because, like, you just insane. Matthew Goffroy, Namibia. Boom, doo, doo. Jax. Hi, Waters Above. Is it possible for you to have a quick decode of Icon? Well, so Jax, it's going to be hard for me to do decodes right now, brother. I mean, I didn't really want to open up this forum to the super chats for decodes, because that is like, it's just a little bit hard for me if people start flowing in super chats for decodes. I just want to try to not do that, but I'll just quickly look at this for you, and then I'm going to kind of move on from that. These are the tickers, right? So this 18 connection and 36, this is tied to Venus. So this is going to have a tie to Venus, and then this 41, this 23 and 16. There's definitely some repetitive numbers that you could see here with Icon in regards to possibly ties to XRP as well. So with XRP, you're getting that 23, that 22, and then that as above, so below, that 4114. The 16 connection is interesting as well. I've been seeing this number 16 quite a bit in my work. But with Icon having that 23 and that full reduction, That's definitely one of those numbers that I like, because you see that 9 that you're getting in 23, that 9 prime coming back to the BTC ticker, and everything tends to come back to Bitcoin in some way, shape, or form. But of course, the 23 and icon that you're getting in that full reduction, that comes back to Bitcoin and the Chaldean cipher, right? So you also see this 36 in Bitcoin, right? And that's another thing you're getting in the ticker symbol ICX. Or is it IXC? It doesn't really matter, because it's all going to be the same numbers. But that 18 that you're getting in the full reduction, that's coming directly back to Venus, right? So there's probably plenty more to uncover in this crypto. Of course, the symbology being the planet Saturn. We're getting that 13th prime in the 41. Unlucky 13s, eh? So that could be one of the reasons why it's such a suppressed coin since the last bull run. It's interesting. Some interesting numbers. The 67-76 connection. 19th prime on that 67. That 19 is never a good sign. Every time we get the 19, it's pretty bad, especially like a day with the numerology of 19. You'll see the prices are typically down on the 19 numerology. Of course, we just had COVID-19. That was pretty rough. That kind of stuff is like, the 19 has been a bitch. And it could simply be because the 1 in 9 gets reduced down to the 10, and the 10 is the restart of all the numbers. So the 9 is the last number, and then that transitions into the 10, and the 10 is the 1s and 0s, or the binary code. And that binary code of 1s and 0s is the code of the matrix. So after that code, it gives birth to the 11, or the Twin Towers, and then you restart the number sequence again with the 2s. So there's lots of fascinating numbers. The ICX ticker also having that 45, which comes back to that 45 of Bitcoin. There's definitely a lot of ties here between Icon and Bitcoin. And the reason why, again, because that logo being Saturn, the logo of the cryptocurrency Icon, and Saturn is Satoshi. Satoshi, right? And we have that 24 number in Satoshi in the Chaldean cipher. Satoshi Nakamoto giving us the 181, which is the 42nd prime, again, as above, so below. And this is all coming back to the sat. So the sats, right? That's what we call the smallest part of a Bitcoin. What a Bitcoin is broken down into is a sat. So that's where you get the Saturn. And you can see right here, we have that 4123 connection, which is coming right back into the, just remember, the 4123 coming back into Icon with the 41 and 23. So yeah, that's just quick stuff. I mean, if I quickly looked at this, the 67 also comes back to this tie with Ripple, and the 76 as above, so below. There's definitely ties here between both of these cryptos. Wow, Bitcoin just broke 42,000. So there you go, guys. Bitcoin is stealing the show. Lots of gains over the last week. It's fucking crazy. So that prediction of Bitcoin hitting 42,000 in the month of July has been officially hit. We did it. I'll talk about that more on tomorrow's video for sure. If I ever get a lot of land, I'm going to get a pond, and I want that pond to only have black swans. I'll be celebrating the last 2 to 3 years of my life. I'll just have a pond full of black swans. Have a good night, Sarah. Much love to you. Yeah, the 222 with the World Economic Forum, and isn't also Dow Order Out of Chaos gives us that 222? right? We have the 222 in order out of chaos in the reverse ordinal cipher, and that 222 is where we're getting in that ISO 20022, right? Because in the rules of numerology, you're removing those zeros and then you're getting back to the 222. So it's all part of it. You know, these ISO 20022 coins are tied to the World Trade Organization, right? People need to wake up, man. People don't wake up to that shit quick. They're going to get sucked into that vortex. Yeah, definitely. That's funny, man. So do I, Jack says, so do I have to be the one to ask you what you will have for dinner tonight? Oh man, I didn't eat any. I don't even know. I worked every second of today, and then I thought it would be nice to do this live stream before the end of the month, just to be able to chill out with you guys. Liberty Prime, much love to you, brother. All right, guys, final thoughts before we move on to the rest of our lives. We got some horses here in Namibia. So sick, man. I'm so glad that I looked into this country. This place looks awesome. Crazy. If Bitcoin closes at 42,000 tonight, that's pretty damn bullish. That is monumental. It's probably stealing a shit ton of liquidity from the altcoins too. Yeah, Bitcoin dominance is about to hit 50% again. Probably really soon. Bitcoin dominance starts getting above 50. It's going to move to this trend line. I'll talk about that probably on tomorrow's video. And then once it gets above that trend line, it's probably going to want to shoot very quickly into the top trend line. So I could see like a 63% Bitcoin dominance before the bull run kind of takes off for Bitcoin. All right, guys, I think I am going to head out so that I could possibly drink some water and maybe make some food. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. Random experiment minute. Put on some Demubor gear and see how the crowd reacts. All right, everyone. Have a beautiful rest of your night in the Matrix. I appreciate all of you. I'm going to head out. We will do this again soon. Yeah, I'm going to get a black pond with only black swans in it. And then whenever people want to talk about black swans, I'm just going to show them pictures of my black swans in the black pond playing black metal. And I'll be drinking a black coffee. Yeah, I'll stay for this. I'll stay for this daily close. I'll stay for this daily close because this is pretty wild, man. $42,000 fucking Bitcoin, man. We did it. That's a big level to crack. This is the we could just look at this like just with a clean chart and see this is pretty wild because you have this top right here that it's breaking over. And then you have this top that it broke through. Now, there is clearly resistance coming in at this peak right here. That's probably going to be at the 42,000, like the 43,000 level. There's a little bit of trading right there. But if it could break above that, it's pretty much going to move up to the 50,000 level in short order. It's pretty wild, man. I mean, we hit 42,000 in the month of July, like in the very last couple minutes, man. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. So Stupid Genius says, why BTC is pumping and XRP stays still? Because Bitcoin dominance is up. So you notice how Bitcoin is actually up 5%, but Ethereum is only up 3%, and then XRP is pretty much flat. It's because when Bitcoin wants to be bullish, it takes a lot of liquidity from the altcoins. That's why Bitcoin's like such a good play to be in, because when Bitcoin's really bullish, it's the best portfolio performer at that time. And then when Bitcoin tops out, then all of the altcoins start doing well. So it's kind of like when Bitcoin retraces, it's the one that retraces the least. And then you have the least damage to your portfolio. But then at the same time, like, you know, you get to have the reversal of Bitcoin again when the next cycle comes. So during a bull run, Bitcoin's really comfortable to be positioned in. And like the altcoins can be bloody and flat and boring for a very prolonged period of time, unfortunately, but that's just the way it goes. That's why I like to focus on Bitcoin, and why over 50% of my portfolio is in Bitcoin, because I look at it from a much bigger perspective. L. Ron Hubbard coin. Scientology. I want a Tom Cruise coin, man. Who's going to make... Yo, Ian, get somebody to... We need somebody to make a Tom Cruise shit coin. Yeah, I'm invested heavily in Bitcoin. But not corn with a C, corn with a K, like that new metal band. Do you guys remember the band Korn? Let's see if we can look up. I think this is more important than the daily close. Biden dementia coin. Yeah, freak on a leash, dude. No, if I play this, my shit's gonna get turned off. Wu-Tang, $42,200 daily close on the week. Fucking crazy, man. Amazing. Corn celebration, guys. I want you all to go listen to some Korn tonight. Don't do it. Don't do it. This band is like, oh man, coming undone. Look at that. How did we get here? How did we go from what we were talking about earlier to talking about corn? All right, I really have to go. This has been a great time. Congratulations to Bitcoin and Bitcoin holders out there. Bitcoin's going to 50K very soon. I'll be making a YouTube video tomorrow. For everyone, and then I'll also be releasing that XDC decode for the family over at the Mastermind community on Patreon. So if anyone wants to join the Patreon starting in the month of August, I will be having that full-blown Gematria class ready to go. Enjoy the rest of your night in the Matrix. Much love to all of you.